Okay. All right, guys. So it looks like we are up and streaming, so we can go ahead and call to order now. What I'll do is, as we normally do, we'll do a roll call, then we can move on to discussion of our maps. So I guess starting in the 1st Congressional District, Commissioner Elizabeth Tobias.
Present.
Thank you. And for the 2nd Congressional District, Commissioner Ruben Anthony.
Present.
And for the 3rd Congressional District, Commissioner Anne-Marie McClellan.
Present.
All right. For the 4th Congressional District, Commissioner Benjamin Rangel.
Present.
Oh, okay, sorry, Ben. And the 5th Congressional District, Commissioner Susan Ram.
Present.
All right. For the 6th Congressional District, Commissioner Melissa Prentice.
Present.
And for the 7th Congressional District, Commissioner Jason Bissonette.
Present.
And for the 8th, Commissioner Anthony Phillips.
Present.
All right. And I also represent the 4th Congressional District, and so we are all here. Thanks everybody for making time to come up tonight on a Friday. I appreciate it. And so what we have on our agenda today is the discussion of the final set of maps that the Line Draw Subcommittee and others have been working on, just based on that most recently received data and critiques from the public. Following that, we'll vote on these said maps, and we will discuss our report on a later date, likely sometime this weekend as well, and vote on that as well. And so just with regards to the discussion of the final PMC maps, we'll start at the assembly level. We'll go to the Senate and Congressional. And so I guess I'll open it up now for the assembly maps that we have, just to kind of keep everything separate, and you can vote on each individually as well when we get to that point. And so as far as the assembly maps go, the Line Draw Subcommittee, we met a couple days ago to discuss some of the alterations that were suggested to us by the public submissions after we released our 2nd draft of maps. We made some changes to the North Shore area as well as in Milwaukee County in order to reflect some of those suggestions that we had. We also were able to make some changes to the Oneida area as well in order to kind of keep that contiguous, as well as the Assembly and the Senate component. And so what I'll do is I can open it up to the floor, and I guess anyone from the Line Draw Subcommittee who wants to give any feedback or overview of it as well. Go ahead, Tony.
I would add on the assembly map, we also were able to look at Dane County. We got some submissions for DeForest and Windsor, and we were able to put them together too. We did look at other things that we were not able to do for various reasons, but we were able to put DeForest and Windsor together. They're in the same school district.
Yeah. Any thoughts? Anybody? Susan, did you have your hand out? So you're okay. Any other thoughts? Any other questions, comments on the assembly district map that was released? I'm sure we have the link here, and we can pop it up too if needed. If anyone wants to take a closer look.
Yeah, we're able just to see the assembly map, especially for those any folks who might be watching.
I just have a question about the process today that I saw the email was it was put in DRA form or something? Was that so the numbers could be put in for the report? What's going on there?
I believe that was for the numbering to be placed into the map.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It looks like it was also, so I'm looking at through the emails here too. It looks like in order to see the statistics a little bit more readily, it was easier to go in the DRA form as well.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Wyatt can bring up that assembly map.
Okay. So here's our assembly. Again, as Tony said, it's uploaded in the data redistricting app format. You can see some of the statistics that we have available on the sides here. For those not as familiar with the DRA interface, it's a little bit different as compared to the districter.
Yeah, maybe we could blow it up in the Milwaukee area as well too.
Hmm. There we go. I'm sorry, go for it.
Oh, I was just going to say, in our last map that we put out there to the public, we did hear that, and we had heard this before, that the North Shore region, they would like it to be more compact and put together than we had it. And so we made some adjustments there and brought those regions together. There's a request to have Glendale and Whitefish Bay put together, but we felt like we couldn't achieve that and reach our VRA compliance goal at the same time. So that's the reason why they aren't together. But we did manage to put, I think, at least 3 of the communities together.
And just to expand on that a bit, my understanding was the VRA compliance kept in mind the important role of the partisan primary election results, and the idea that voters of color might have a different choice in the primary, despite, if you look at a general election, right, the partisan data between voters of color and white voters might be pretty similar, but there is a distinction. And so we specifically, the subcommittees, right, looked at that data as well, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for mentioning, Ben. Absolutely.
Yeah, that is correct, because it's a very complicated way to figure out what VRA compliance is, according to what we've learned from the experts. You can't just take a certain population and say if it's 55 or 57 or 60% of a certain racial makeup, that will be compliant. So we didn't use that. We used the primary data as our guideline for VRA compliance.
Yeah, and just to add one more point there, even small percentage changes like 3 or 4%, right? Because you could do some maneuvering, but even 3 or 4% could disadvantage voters of color in that primary in particular. That's correct, right?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's something that, especially as you start to get to some of the local primary elections too, that may be something that could have larger swings. Absolutely.
Yeah. And that was
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, Ruben. I
How
was
did
just
we,
going to say one more thing with this balancing act is trying to keep our population deviation low at the same time. So that was just another confounding factor. I'm sorry, Ruben, go ahead.
where do we stand with majority minority areas in Milwaukee for Hispanics and African Americans?
Yeah, so we were able to achieve 7 minority, majority Black voting age population, either majority or opportunity districts throughout the Milwaukee County area. We maintained the 2 Hispanic American voting age population assembly districts as well, where a candidate of choice in those populations should carry as well. And so we are adding an additional, as compared to the current enacted map, adding an additional minority opportunity district in the Black voting age population and maintaining the 2 in the Hispanic voting age populations as well.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I just want to, just real quick, what Anne Marie said about population balance, we did get below 2%. We're like at 1.98%. So that was a little bit of editing we did also. Didn't really affect metrics, but we got below 2%.
Yeah. The different tabs there, the analyze and the advanced show some really good statistics, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so I don't know why, if you're able to drive, I know the
Oh, no, go to advanced.
yeah.
Oh, no, at the bottom there. Let's see. I would say go back to analyze or advanced. The tab at the top, hit that first. Yeah.
Yeah, so this was just a pictorial view of how our maps will perform for different categories of fairness. And so minority opportunity, competitiveness, proportionality, splitting, and compactness as well. We don't have the ability right now to pop in the prior enacted maps, but it is an increase almost across the board for each one of those categories with the current maps that we are proposing or that we're discussing right now.
Yeah, and then I think go hit the advanced one. I think it gives a nice summary statistic, you know. It kind of really shows how these maps fare.
Yeah.
And then at the bottom, it's got, I think, great, right there where it shows the efficiency gap and all that other stuff. So, yeah, so I think that was good information as well.
Yeah.
So maps look good.
Awesome. Any other areas that you guys wanted to take a look at, or any other thoughts or questions that you had at this point?
If you don't mind, I would like to hear a bit more about the Oneida. I think that's what you mentioned.
Yeah, Tony, if you want to take that one.
Sure. Yeah. Traditionally, all of the Oneida tribal nation has been in one Senate district. And the Dave's redistricting gap isn't showing it, but why I could probably show the rectangle. We've looked at it a lot. So there it is. Thank you. That rectangle is the Oneida tribal nation, and our, after we had edited the Assembly and Senate maps twice, we still did not have the upper northwest little triangle piece of Oneida tribal nation in one Senate district. So yeah, right there. So this week we using we were able to do it. Wyatt helped us do it. And we had to take the Pittsfield Township. So now the Oneida tribal nation is all in one Senate district, as it has traditionally been. It's always been split into several assembly districts, which it still is in our situation. This is the Senate map, yeah.
If I could add one thing with that, that is the county line right there. So by not having that, we are keeping the county integrity.
Right. Thanks, Jason.
Yeah, and this was something that the line drawer subcommittee had worked hard on, because in the districtor software, it was hard to zoom in on some of this block data in order to kind of encompass it. However, after working a while on it, we're able to bring it in and to keep that intact. So. Yeah. Anything else, guys? Any other areas you guys wanted to focus on or take a look at, or should we discuss the Senate? Okay, green light for the Senate. Okay, so we want to pull up our Senate districts as well. Actually, we have it. There you go.
Chair Ford, are we going to look at the table that shows statistics of comparing these maps to enacted before we vote on this, just to show that stuff? Or is it?
Yeah, I don't know if we, let me see if
Anne Marie, are we able to do that at all? I mean, I think it'd be helpful. I mean,
It would be seen, we just got the data like So recently,
Yeah.
the table's not populated fully. I think I would well, yeah, you probably want to see it, but they're better than the enacted. It's not complete.
Right.
I
So
think
in that regard, I'm kind of hesitant.
Right, I would concur. I mean, everything looks better in our maps, than enacted maps. But if there's any commissioners that may have a question, I mean, we have the data in front of us. So if there's any questions like, what's the comparison of split counties or split municipalities or cut edges or swing districts, we do have that information. It is clearly better.
Yeah.
PMC maps.
I think even if it's incomplete, the table's incomplete. If we're able to see some of it, I mean, it might not be. I don't know. That's my thought. Just especially if any folks are watching.
Yeah.
If they've been paying attention this whole time, I think all of the maps we've released since the original drafts have been better, kind of across the board. So hopefully they trust that the data is what we say it is. But if we have anything visible to display, granted, I'm assuming all this will also be public at some point or another too. But
if we can't display the maps, Ben, we can definitely say these things out loud now. I mean, it's relatively straightforward data, so we could do that as well.
True. Yeah.
For
You can
each
see
map
the
as we
report
go.
as well, but we'll try to pull up what we got during this meeting tonight. Tony, you really quickly too. I wanted to throw on the Windsor change as well. That Wyatt, you were working on too. If you want to discuss the Windsor change.
Yeah. I was waiting for Wyatt to say something. I thought this was really cool. I mean, before we had Windsor and DeForest kind of in two different assembly districts, and I don't think we understood. And so we got a good comment from the public that, hey, they're in the same school district, they want to be together. And Wyatt was able to do it, and we looked at that, and it made it more compact. And so I think it was it's something that worked from a public comment. I would say something interesting to do would be to go to the currently enacted assembly map and look at this area. It's incredibly non-compact, almost not contiguous. This is a major improvement if anybody's listening. So I'll stop there.
Yeah, I'll try to throw the link in the chat here if anybody from the commission wants to take a look at the currently enacted.
Yeah.
I'd be interested. I know that we had gotten some public comment on the Senate districts, in particular in the Milwaukee area, and I guess I also want to acknowledge that we've looked at the Milwaukee area once already in the assembly, and I'm asking to see it again. And I don't want to take away from the other commissioners' geographic areas and their constituencies. And I want to acknowledge that this district in this area was relatively complicated because of how many folks are just concentrated in that area. Not that the other areas weren't, but that's part of my reason of wanting to look at it, is that there was just a lot of changes made throughout the process, and small changes here and there. And so in terms of the Senate, I actually would like to look at the Senate map there. Thanks.
Okay.
And then learn more about, majority, minority Senate districts that we have here. If somebody can speak on those.
So just through the assembly district up for what we have here. So as compared to prior go for it. Well, I don't know if you're pulling that up too. So this is just the comparison of the Windsor area. Ben, I'll give you your question. Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. Wondering if my mic was working, not working.
Yeah, no. All right. So Tony, this is the Windsor area available.
Okay, yeah, I mean, you can see Windsor and DeForest are split, and it's more dramatic when you put colors and other, but it's, you know, it's very different than what we drew.
So just pulling up the one you have here. So essentially, when taking a look at our Senate here, you know, in the Milwaukee County area, you're dealing with Senate District 4 as well as Senate District 6, which are going to be the larger Black voting age population districts. And so those are the two that are maintained here in our current orientation of the map. The larger Hispanic voting age population Senate district will be Senate District 3 that we have here with the Hispanic voting age population of 39.4%. So that is that's essentially what we have here. Sorry, I didn't want to put you on the spot to make you draw a 6 there, but that's what we're looking at here. So
did you say 4 and 6 was maintained, so they're the same as the enacted?
right. So there's two majority, two voting age population Black. So one with majority Black at 54%.
Okay, but the boundary shifted a little bit.
Shifted a bit with our assembly district nesting. So essentially, in Wisconsin, typically what you do is you will nest 3 assembly districts into 1 Senate district. So with movement, we will have some shifting of the lines just slightly. And so with the creation of 1 more Black majority, voting age population opportunity district, the lines will shift a bit. However, we will have 3 majority non-white Senate districts that will be in our maps currently.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a good question, Anne-Marie. Why do you know if the custom overlay will show the current one? And Dave's redistricting, I'm not as familiar with that as I am with districters.
So Chris, that third district is the majority Latino or district?
Right. Well, it's a larger population of Latin American voting age population.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you able to, can I just see the county lines here? Just curious. Okay. All right, thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions on the Senate that you guys may have?
Oh, so was he going to throw the overlay on that, or maybe?
I'm not sure. White, are you able to throw overlay on it? I'm not sure.
Looked like he tried and there wasn't the option.
It wasn't. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could switch over to districtor.
Okay. You want to do that, and then we can kind of go back and forth if we need more statistics for it.
I was just gonna say again on population balance in the Senate, just Q&A the last day, we found 2 wards that were actually not nested properly into Senate district. And then when we fixed those, it actually helped population balance quite a bit. So our population balance in the Senate map is, I think, below 1%. I mean, it's really good.
Yeah. Let's see.
Maybe he'll show us when he pulls it up, but
Yeah.
How's
We're
the
0.74 to speak. Yeah.
yeah.
how's the compactness in the Senate districts?
Well, by cut edges, in the enacted Senate, it's 2,078 for cut edges. In the PMC Senate, it's 1,588.
Wow.
So
Okay.
about 25% better.
Yeah. I was just looking, some of those Senate districts didn't look as compact, but I imagine that's partly because of the trying to get the minority districts in there. So that makes, yeah, I mean. makes sense. And we were only looking at one specific area versus the whole thing. So.
Wyatt, are you able to? Oh, there he is up there. I thought we lost Wyatt. Are you able to show in the district here?
Yeah, I'm just getting it all.
Okay.
Everything's loading right now.
Got it. No worries. No worries. Just checking to make sure you didn't think you were sharing. It's the beauty of Zoom, right? So again, from what we're trying to do while we're loading up all the maps here, a lot of the changes that we've made have ultimately been based on some of the public input that we've gotten, and it's difficult to make the map as perfect and to reflect each one of the input that each individual input that we get. However, what we're trying to do is we're trying to make it as cohesive with our criterion, which is available on our website, as well as maintaining minority opportunity, maintaining communities of interest, maintaining contiguity, compactness, all those things. And so some of the changes that we made from the very first set of maps that we released up until now all reflect that. So share for a bit, Wyatt.
Wyatt, can you put up the current state senate? There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you zoom in on Milwaukee?
Yeah, and so this is so just with the mindset of before we had, as you said, Ruben, we moved the lines somewhat, but this is so our maps is creating or maps create a separate Black opportunity voting age population opportunity district as well. And so versus the prior which had 6 and 2, so a total of 8 non-white voting age population assembly districts. And so this is reflective, some of the smaller changes are reflective of us taking that into account, as well as some slight changes associated with the population as well. These are the figures here, Ruben, for you. So 51.4%, 39.4%, and 42.6%.
Yeah, Wyatt, are you able to put on the numbers of the painted districts? Thank you. And then, yeah, assuming that will load.
And can you pull out just a bit so we can see more a little further south?
There you go. There you go. That's the numbers.
There you go, right there.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you, Wyatt.
Yeah, the 6 didn't want on the load, but it's there. We care about you just as much in District 6. Promise. Any other questions you guys have about the Senate or any other areas you want us to take a look at here where we have it up in, I guess, both of the interfaces that we use?
No.
Okay. All right. If not, we can move on to the congressional district.
I guess why he's bringing up the congressional district, this is why we had to move over to Dave's at this point, because the way it brings up the block level data in order to balance it to a single person, we needed to use it at days because it does load that low level detail quicker than we can have done in the districtor.
So I'm wondering,
But yeah,
Elizabeth, Tobias, you jumped on our meeting, I think Wednesday night for District 1, and wasn't it Whitewater?
yeah.
So yeah, right there. This is one that goes across county lines. We had to go across county line, but we said, okay, we have comments that we need to get Whitewater in the same district, so did that.
Yeah, and Tony, that's a great point. And so, this is one of the features that we got kind of later from the Tufts lab, which was invaluable. Before we were able to synthesize all of the community of interest data that was submitted to us, either on our portal or in a number of different ways since the very beginning of this process. And so one of the functions that was built into Districtor was the community of interest overlay. And it reflected exactly what Elizabeth brought to us, in that the community of Whitewater wanted to maintain as much as possible. And one of the iterations of our congressional district maps that we submitted to the public for comment had it so that we liked the deviation, we liked the compactness of it, we liked the competitiveness of it. However, this was a community that was split, and so as Tony was saying, we spoke to Elizabeth whatever day. It seems like all the days are all the same now, but one of the days that we were working on this, we made this change in order to keep that community intact, just to kind of reflect that community of interest as well.
Yeah, and through all these maps, we ended up with a Madison that didn't have a split. Earlier, and there was one map where we had a split in the city of Madison.
Right. You're right. Yes, Ruben, this map does not split Madison. There it is.
Okay.
I think that split was happening at the assembly though, right? Or no, that was you're right. That was the
It was congressional, yeah. So, but you're right, Ben. There was one that was split on the assembly level too. A couple of the, one of the maps that we had that was started. It was one of the maps that was authored off of the computer generation of our criterion. That split Madison, and so we took some of that feedback, both from Commissioner Anthony as well as some of the public feedback too, and brought that back together, and still maintained some of the parameters of our criterion too. So,
did we decide, are we going to be able to show some of the data of how these maps compare to the enacted?
Yeah, do we? Let me see if. Why, did you get the tables yet, or?
If not, I was just curious about if we could maybe just read off the how these maps compare in terms of our partisan fairness criteria.
Okay.
Particular, but
yeah, we can.
Tony,
you have the numbers in front of you, don't you, Tony? Can you read them off to us?
You know what? The one for partisan fairness, I don't. I mean, I know that the eventual congressional district map that we have had a partisan seat lean of 0.5, and the enacted would be much higher than that, but that is one piece of data we don't have easily in front of us. Similarly for the Assembly and Senate, I mean, much more proportional. I know the Assembly map that we've drawn has still a lean of about 4.5 seats to the Republican, whereas the enacted,
9.
basically a calculation, it's like 9.9.
Yeah.
And then for the Senate, the PMC map is at a 2.1 seat lean. And for the enacted Senate, it's like 3.63. So clearly we're more proportional. we're not zero proportional, but, you know, we've followed all of our criteria. And this is where we're at. You know, our higher priorities were keeping cities and counties intact and being compact and complying with VRA. And then at the end of that, you know, we did improve proportionality over what's enacted.
Yeah, and I guess, sorry, Tony, to interrupt.
No, I'm done.
Oh, okay. I did see like general, this isn't actually submitted feedback from the public through our portal, but like just general feedback. Obviously, there's a lot of mapping news coming out over the last few weeks and just discussions online and stuff. And so I think I'd just like to point out that like in terms of partisan fairness, Wisconsin is a very purple state, but the partisan concentration of folks throughout the state makes having perfect partisan fairness a little bit challenging, in that the most Democrats self-sort into highly concentrated urban areas. And so because our criteria prioritizes compactness, not splitting municipalities, all these other really important things, some folks just look really briefly at the partisan fairness and notice a slight lean one way or the other. And it's like, okay, well, the maps aren't fair. But in reality, when you have multiple criteria, making them fair is challenging given the population distribution throughout the state. Is that like kind of what we ran into? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I'm glad you talked, because it gave me a chance to think. And there's actually more data about partisan balance, which is incredibly important. I mean, sure, we are still leaning a little. However, we're a lot more competitive. There's also competition and number of swing districts, and we will have that data in our final report. For instance, number of swing districts, meaning districts that have gone either R or D in that set of 14 past elections. For instance, the assembly, the enacted assembly has 24 swing districts out of 99. We have 32 out of 99. For the Senate districts, out of 33 districts, the enacted map currently has 8 districts that might be considered swing. The PMC map has 13. And similarly, for the congressional maps, there in the enacted, there was 1 district that might be considered swing. In the PMC map, there's 2. There in the PMC map, there's still 4 districts that lean Republican. There's 2 that lean Democrat, and there's 2 that would be considered swing. And I would say lean a little bit toward D, Democrat. So there's actually more data than just the pure partisan lean. There's the competitiveness and the number of swing districts, all of which favor the PMC maps. And that will be in the final report, obviously available to the public next week.
Thanks, Tony. Any other questions or comments on the congressional district maps? Anywhere you guys want to see? Okay. All right, guys. Well, if there's no other comments, you know, I think it's probably appropriate to vote officially on the. We'll start with the assembly maps, then we'll go to Senate, and then we'll go to district congressional district maps as well. So, let's see if we can do this. We will start kind of in the first congressional district and move through for each one, and then we'll kind of go from there. Okay, that sound fair to everybody?
A point of information: are we doing the same process we have been throughout the commission, which is opening it up to any folks to like disagree versus like asking each individual member to vote yes or no? Just curious, considering this is sort of like the final vote. I don't know if we want a recorded vote or not.
Yeah, so we will need to record a formal vote, yes or no, on the map. But you know, if there's any if there's any thing you would like to discuss right now, we can definitely go back through any one of the maps. But yeah, this will just be a formal yes or no for approval of the map. Okay. All right. All right, guys. So I guess we'll start with the assembly level district map. We'll start in the 1st congressional district. Commissioner Tobias, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay. Going to the 2nd congressional district, Commissioner Anthony, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay. To the 3rd congressional district, Commissioner McClellan.
Yes, approved.
Okay. And to the 4th, Commissioner Rangel, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay. I will go as well because I am also from the 4th, so I vote yes. Commissioner Ford. Commissioner Rampt, how do you vote from the 5th congressional district?
Yes.
Okay. And Commissioner Prentice from the 6th congressional district, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Bissonnette from the 7th congressional district, how do you vote?
Yes, I approve.
And last but not least, Commissioner Phillips from the 8th, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay. So we have all votes in, and we'll move to go ahead and move forward with the distribution of the assembly districts. So we'll move on to the Senate maps here. So as far as the Senate, I guess we'll go in reverse order, Tony, so we don't leave you out here. So from the 8th congressional district, Commissioner Phillips, how do you vote?
Yes.
Again, this is to approve the Senate district.
Approved.
And from the 7th congressional district, Commissioner Bissonnette, how do you vote?
Yes, yes, I approve.
Okay, thank you. And from the 6th congressional district, Commissioner Prentice, how do you vote?
Yes.
And from the 5th congressional district, Commissioner Ramp, how do you vote?
Yes.
From the 4th, Commissioner Rangel, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay. And I will vote as well. Commissioner Ford from the 4th congressional district as well votes yes. From the 3rd congressional district, Commissioner McClellan, how do you vote?
Votes yes.
All right. From the 2nd congressional district, Commissioner Anthony, how do you vote?
Yes, approved.
And from the 1st congressional district, Commissioner Tobias, how do you vote?
Yes, I approve.
All right. All right. So we'll move to approve the Senate district as well. And last but not least, the congressional district mapping as well. We'll start at the 1st. So Commissioner Tobias, how do you vote for the congressional district maps?
Yes, I approve.
Thank you. And from the 2nd, Commissioner Anthony, how do you vote?
Yes.
From the 3rd, Commissioner McClellan.
Yes, approved.
Thank you. From the 4th, Commissioner Rangel, how do you vote?
Yes. Approve.
And also from the 4th, Commissioner Ford votes yes to approve as well. From the 5th, Commissioner Ramp, how do you vote?
Yes.
From the 6th, Commissioner Prentice, how do you vote?
Yes.
Thank you. And from the 7th, Commissioner Bissonnette, how do you vote?
Yes,
Okay. And to close this out, Commissioner Phillips from the 8th congressional district, how do you vote?
Yes.
All right. And so that also carries to move forward with the congressional district maps as our complete maps. So congratulations, everybody. Thank you all. I appreciate it. All right. So so I just wanted to, as compared to our previous agenda, so we're still working on some additions to our report. So I just wanted to give you guys an update on that as well. And so the whole commission will receive a final draft tomorrow night. We're looking to have a very quick meeting on Sunday. I am very much have it in the purview that it is Halloween. I've been building a excavator out of multiple cardboard boxes and have blue paint under my nails. So I hear you. So we will go ahead and try to get that. I guess we can set it now if you guys want to. Do you guys have any particular time? I know Commissioner Tobias wanted to do it as early as possible. Anyone have any particular time? I guess we can start with you, Elizabeth. Any particular time that works for you on Sunday?
Really, any time before noon
Before
would be
noon.
awesome. Would be great.
Anyone else, is that okay for everybody before noon?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's problematic. I do Sunday school in church on
Oh, okay.
Sunday morning, so I may not be there.
Okay.
If it's before noon.
Yeah, I mean, if we can have you send your vote, Ruben, if you want to take a look at it, if you're okay with that, we'll send out the report to you. And as long as there's a quorum here, if everyone here is okay with that, and we have a quorum to approve, we can move forward with it as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how about like 11 o'clock? Is that okay with you guys? Do you want to do that? Okay. All right. I'll say selfishly, that'll give me a couple hours of sleep, so that'll be good. So, all right. All right.
Sorry, just to give you a heads up, I might be driving. I'll be in actually Commissioner Anthony's district. I'll be in Madison, coming back from the Badger football game. So hopefully they beat Iowa, and I might not be able to make it, but I will send my vote if not. So
Okay. But yeah, you can phone in or
yeah, I can probably phone in for sure. So it should be fine. But if I have technical difficulties, you'll know why.
Yeah, it'd be too much celebrating.
Chris, you're thinking we'll get the report by when? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow night is what, yeah.
5 or 6 o'clock or something tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Always, no later than 6 is what I hear. So.
All right, good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you all tonight. Congratulations, and we'll see you guys on Sunday.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks,
Thanks,
everyone.
Thanks for all your hard work.
Thanks, Chair
Okay,
Ford.
thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
work.
Mike.
Happy Friday. Bye.
Happy Friday.